Okay, so I want to know how all of you have been doing. I love to read your comments in the comment section. I know I have got the best audience of any YouTuber out there. I just really appreciate the way we're able to interact. Did you ever think as a kid that we would have a platform like this where we could talk to people from all around the world? It is absolutely incredible to me. I think when I was a kid and we would pass notes to each other in school, I honestly think I remember thinking one time, wouldn't it be cool if we had something we could put in our pocket? I mean, I had that concept of wouldn't it be cool to basically text each other. Right now, I feel like things are still in a turmoil. Kind of unsettled still. Is that the way it feels where you live? Do things still feel a little unsettled to you? Chad and I were, well, for one thing, where I live, we're in a drought. For 25 years, I've been hearing on the news, on the weather report, you know, we're in a drought, we're in a drought. But every year we seem to come through it just fine. We get the rain or the snow that we need, and I don't really worry about it. But it's almost like they called wolf for so long. But this year it's really different. We have planes that fly across here, so I have to stop my camera all the time. And I've got a phone call. I'll get back with you. I cannot believe the airplanes this morning. I can't get a sentence in without one flying over my head. Anyway, I'm just going to talk through it. Chad and I were driving around the other day, not that far from here, and there was a field. I've got to stop. Anyway, Chad and I were driving around the other day, and we drove by this field, farmer's field, and I says, what is he trying to grow there? And it dawned on me that they had planted something and they weren't watering it anymore. And then we later heard that, yeah, they didn't have enough water to water their fields, and they're just going to let it go this summer. And oh, that makes me sick. But we have been told that they're going to cut our water off in 2 weeks for our yards. And all summer we've cut back drastically on our watering, and I'll go show you what our yard looks like. It's not very pretty. All right, so this is what the front yard looks like. It's not terrible. We're trying to keep it alive a little better than the backyard. And we keep our flowers watered pretty good. Let me show you the backyard. So here is our dry backyard. It is really dry. Look at this. It makes it so I really don't want to come out here. We haven't played back here all summer, picnic like we used to. It's just really ugly. And it doesn't help that tree is dying. And the thing is, it isn't because they aren't getting watered. Those trees have been in stress for 10 years, and I have put, you name it, the product, I have dumped a fortune into those trees, and I am just saying to them, if you want to die, we'll cut you down, because I am not putting another dime into trying to save them. Look at our bushes back here. Chad, when he cut the watering back on the lawn, these are connected to them, and it just happened almost overnight that these things went brown. But I don't think that they're dead yet. I want to talk to you about a product that has been getting a lot of attention lately, and why I've chose to make it part of my daily routine. This past year, if you've been watching my videos, you will know that it has been kind of a rough one. And it just seems like it's been one thing after another. And I'm not going to lie to you, it has really taken its toll on me. And I have had to find ways to get through it. Equilibria is sponsoring today's video. Equilibria is a by woman, for women CBD company that offers a one-on-one personalized dosage expert to work with you on finding the perfect routine for your individual needs. My specialist has been awesome, and I really appreciate the way she has put to rest so many of the myths that surround CBD. She has also been able to teach me things not only about dosage, but about my body. For instance, for faster results, I now know that in the morning it's best to take a half dropper under my tongue and to just let it sit there for about 60 seconds. Then around evening time, take the soft gels because those are time released. For headaches or joint aches, there's the relief cream, and I leave it right by my nightstand. So if you want to give them a try, use my code GRIF15 for 15% off your first Equilibria purchase. I had to come inside. There were just too many distractions outside. I couldn't even think about what I wanted to talk to you about. I had a whole list of things up in my head that I wanted to talk about, and I turned the camera on and they just go away. So I was just wondering, what's it like where you live? Do you have issues with water shortages right now, or any kind of shortages? Now you think about when COVID hit and how the shelves just emptied out. We should not have that issue again, at least for a few months into a disaster. We should all have learned something from COVID, even if it's, we need to have a few weeks worth of supplies on hand. We like to keep some water on hand. You never know if we're going to have a drought. You don't know if the water is going to become contaminated for whatever reason. We have nothing to lose by storing some water, and we have everything to gain if we run into issues where we don't have any water. So we'd be really glad that we had it. We were just raised that way, to always have a little on hand. Chad's parents were so good. So are mine, but his dad was really encouraging to me about getting some food storage, and he knew we didn't have a lot of money, he knew we didn't have any money, but he would say, okay, Jennifer, start with your water. Water's free, so fill up your jugs. We always used Clorox jugs, emptied out Clorox bottles. I don't care what anybody says, they worked, and they worked just fine. And we'd rinse them out, and actually there was just enough chlorine residue in there that it kept the water from growing any algae or anything in it. It was fine. Okay, so now you've got your water. What else can you do? Well, get your basics. What are the basics? Get some wheat, some oats, flour, pasta noodles, rice, beans, lentils, peanut butter, canned chicken, canned tuna. Those would sustain life. And then he'd say, okay, you get a good little supply of that. Well, you need baking ingredients for baking. Baking powder, baking soda, salt, sugar, cocoa powder, a few of the, salt and pepper, whatever, taco seasoning. You need, vanilla extracts, pure, that kind of thing. So, okay, you've got your water, you've got your basics that will sustain life, you've got a cupboard that's got all your baking supplies, and now you can add things like vegetables. You can add canned peaches, canned pears, canned pie filling, that kind of thing, to kind of build up your food storage. I've always liked to keep some cases of chili and soup on hand, because in a crisis, who's going to want to be standing around trying to put a meal together, trying to utilize food storage? No, you just want to open up a can and heat it up, and you've got something to eat. You can even eat it cold. It's good to have honey on hand. Honey will never go bad. You can have it for 100 years and it's not going to go bad. And actually, if you keep your sugar clean and dry, it'll last you forever too. Those are really good things to have on hand. You also need some fats. You need Crisco or shortening oils, butter, and you can freeze butter. We have 50 pounds of popcorn because, you know, popcorn can fill an empty tummy. A lot of our anxiety comes by not knowing what is down the line, what's going to be happening in the future. And if you can prepare yourself and have to feel a little more self-reliant, then that, if nothing else, it gives you some comfort, a little peace of mind knowing, well, if a disaster does happen, if a drought does come, I've at least got enough to take care of my family for, you know, X amount of days. And really start with a week. Okay, do I have something? It might not be what you always eat every day, but do I have something to feed my family for a week? Do I have enough in my pantry that I could put a meal together for 2 weeks? You know, think of maybe 5 meals that you eat and times each one of those meals by however long you want. If you want to go a year, times it by 90 days and take inventory that way to see if you have enough food, enough supplies that would last you for 3 months, and then extend that out a little bit longer, 4 months, 6 months, until, for us, well, I know we can live for a year on what's in our storage room, because when Chad lost his job, we simply did not go to the grocery store, and what we ate came out of our storage room, with the exception of milk and eggs and butter. And if I'd have had butter in my freezer, I wouldn't have needed to go and buy that either. And if I would have had some powdered milk on hand and some powdered eggs, I would literally not have had to go to the grocery store for anything, unless perhaps it was some fresh vegetables, but that's all right. Even when we lived in an apartment, and when we lived in the trailer court, when we had a single wide trailer, we found a space to put some supplies. Don't like to put things under beds, but you can store food storage under beds. You can store it in the back of the closets. I know there are vlogs, lots of them, on being creative and storing your food storage. And I am not a prepper by any means. I am not that there's anything wrong with a prepper, but that I don't consider myself a prepper. I just want to be as self-reliant as I possibly can. That is probably built into my DNA. Chad and I both come from pioneer heritage, and they did without. We're just spoiled. That's all there is to it. We can drive up to a McDonald's window and order a chicken sandwich and a Coke for $2. I would love to hear your thoughts on this, what you do, what you put in your food storage, how you arrange it. Leave me a comment down below, and we will probably visit this topic again real soon. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.